So MKBHD did a pretty cool video where he compared the Google Assistant that just launched on the new Google Pixel phone against Siri on the iPhone. You can see the video, it's linked in the description below. And I thought, poor Cortana, she must be feeling left out. Well, I'm Martin from TechAltar, and let's give Cortana a chance. So we have Cortana running on a Microsoft Lumia 950 on the left, and the Google Assistant running on the Sony Xperia XZ. Now that is running inside the Allo chat app, so it won't actually speak out loud, but the engine should be the same as the one found in the Google Pixel phone. Alright, to warm up, let's start with some simple questions that are in English and should be very easy to answer. What's the weather like?
Right now, it's 50 and mostly sunny.
Okay, first thing you can see is that the Google Assistant is kind of like a chat app. So it's like you talk to it and it talks back. So it's kind of a very natural feeling assistant to begin with. Whereas the Cortana Assistant gives you cards, much like Google Now did before the Google Assistant came around. How tall is Mount Everest?
$29,029 feet.
And again, you see the same thing. So this is just like a straight up answer. It doesn't give any more, like it doesn't give pictures. It doesn't give information of other things. It's just a straight up answer. Now I can say for sure that some people will prefer this and then another type of person will prefer that. When does the nearest post office close?
I found 5 post offices near you. There's Posto at Badajiani Babezer Lokajpan in Budapest.
Okay. So actually, both of them brought up search results and map, but I'd say probably Cortana has the edge here because it actually shows when the opening times are. So for the next exercise, I do have to tell you that I have a contact in both of these address books that's called TechAltar, and it has my email address in it. So I want to send an email to myself. I know I can send emails with both of these assistants, but let's try if I can send it to TechAltar. Send an email to TechAltar saying that I want to subscribe to you.
Who's the email going to?
Okay. So Google Assistant clearly didn't understand the command that I want to send an email. Probably it misunderstood something. Cortana at least understood that I want to send an email, but it doesn't recognize the contact's name, which is TechAltar, which is a bit of a pity. And honestly, it is one of those problems that I think very often happens with voice assistants. It's just voice is good, except for if you want to type something specific. So next up, let's move to some more complex questions. First, I'd like to ask a question which doesn't have a concrete answer. And now for an assistant, this is a really difficult task because it's not just searching something and then displaying it, but it has to understand the whole concept. So let's start. How old do dogs usually get? Boom. And Google Assistant shows that it, in this very complex question, outsmarts Cortana, which just pulled up a search result. All right, now let's check how well these assistants understand context. When was Apple founded?
April 1st, 1976.
Okay, so that was easy enough, as expected. How about Microsoft?
April 4th, 1975.
Okay, so both of them understand context, right? They understood that I'm looking for when Microsoft was founded, even though I didn't actually say a full sentence. I actually do prefer Microsoft's implementation here. It's just simple and clean, whereas this one seems to be basically a Wikipedia article. But okay, both understood the context, and let's go on. What's their stock price?
Take a look at this.
Okay, so Google Assistant came up with Microsoft Corporation's stock price. That makes all the sense in the world. Context understood. And this one is Sprint Corporation. So As far as I can understand this, Cortana actually forgot that we're talking about Microsoft. Now, another problem that we have with AI assistants is that they're not very good in international surroundings. Anything that's outside of the US doesn't work very well. So let's test this out. My favorite K-pop band, that is Korean pop, is called Mamamoo. So let's see what they think about these. Who is Mamamoo? All right, so both of them actually understood the name Mamamoo, which is basically a gibberish word, so that is pretty impressive. But I have a problem with both of these. First of all, this is just a simple Bing search. So that's not the end of the world. It's actually pretty good, but it's not what I wanted. And then here, the problem is this is not a very good answer to what I was asking. And the answer I'd expect is for Google to say that it's a Korean pop band formed in whatever, and it has X members. And the other problem is these are just 3 of the 4 members. So Google actually left 1 of the 4 people out, which is, so that's the problem. It understood the context, but it kind of didn't give me the answer that I was expecting to see. Okay, so let's do another difficult to understand name. Play me a song from Chopin.
Playing music.
Okay. Clearly, neither of them understood that I want a song from Chopin, because understanding Chopin is very difficult for someone who only speaks English. All right, so let's try something even more difficult. Let's do Chinese. So my favorite Chinese tea is called Da Hong Pao. It's a very famous type of tea. Let's see if they understand. What is Da Hong Pao? Okay, both of them understood Donald Powell. Apparently my Da Hong Pao sounds very much like Donald Powell. But yeah, again, here's the problem. I could just type this into a search engine and it would know what I mean. But saying it with my voice still doesn't work. So from my short time of playing around with both of these, it seems like Google Assistant is a little bit better at the international stuff, but still both are very far away from being usable outside of an English-speaking scenario. So let's test how fun these guys are. Knock, knock. Okay.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Woo. Woo-hoo. Don't get too excited, it's just a joke.
Okay, so Cortana is definitely trying to be more witty, but then again, I guess Google has it as well. Tell me something interesting.
Hold on to your hat. The wind on Neptune can reach speeds in excess of 1,500 miles per hour, which is greater than the speed of sound.
Okay, so let's do one more. Who's your daddy?
Technically speaking, that'd be Bill Gates. No big deal.
Okay, so from my time with these guys, both are on a conversational level, and you can ask for jokes, you can ask for small stories and so on, and both will do fine. But I find that Cortana, especially with the voice, is just a little bit more witty, and she's just a little bit more fun in general. Okay, so both of these assistants, to sum it up, are pretty good at basic search things and basic tasks, especially if you keep everything in English. I personally prefer the way Cortana handles these basic things. I think she just gives a little bit more information, a little bit more context, so I'm quite happy about that. Now, one area where the Google Assistant clearly shines is more complex scenarios. So she understands better context, her international skills are a little bit better, and she just seems generally smarter if you dig deeper. Okay, I'll be honest. I've had Cortana, Google Assistant, and Google Now, and all the other AI things turned off on all of my devices until now. And I don't think that's going to change because of what I experienced today. First of all, I think there are some privacy concerns with all of these things that I'm just not ready to gloss over. I don't like someone listening to me all the time and analyzing all of my actions, and it's just too much in my opinion. And second, the benefits that I'm getting from all of this, from giving up all of the privacy, are just very minimal, especially for someone who's not from the US. Very often, just often enough for me to hate this experience, things just don't work as expected. Streets, local shop names, local brands, local services, they all don't tie in very well with all of this. So for me, it's not the solution. Maybe for you it is though. In either case, I'm Martin from TechAltar. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to me if you want to see more cool stuff. I'll actually be reviewing the Sony Xperia XZ on my channel next. So if you're interested in that, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.